so we've gone through the overview of the gig, we've gone through the pricing, and now we're going to look at the description and frequently asked questions. So again, this is really crucial from an SEO perspective, and definitely take advantage of the FAQs. I see so many sellers on Fiverr who aren't using FAQs, and it's just a really good way to enrich your gig itself and just make it look a bit more professional. So I'm going to write something really quick. I'm not going to fill the full 1200 characters on this video, but just something so you kind of get the point of what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to achieve. So for example, I might say, hey there, my name is Matt and I'm an SEO expert. I've been selling on Fiverr since 2011 and have worked with many clients, helping them rank their websites on Google for 5 years, for example. I'm making this up. Cool, so then I'm going to make this really clear and really concise and put it into sections. So for example, so I might do what you'll get, SEO backlink service. So this is one of the keywords that I'm sprinkling here. So there's going to be a keyword in here, which is SEO service, that I'm going to sprinkle in, with 100 backlinks, no follow, and then you kind of get the point here. So you're starting to get an idea. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video, I'm going to write something out very quickly off camera, and then I'm going to go back and we'll go through and just analyse what is on there. So what we've done here is take a little bit of inspiration from the Fiverr market. Do not copy anyone else's gig on Fiverr, because it will get marked by customer support. So make sure you can take inspiration from other sellers and see what the top rated sellers are doing, but do not directly copy their work. Cool, so here, to kind of go with the backlink and the SEO theming, so I've got hard-hitting intro statements. So backlinks are the most important Google ranking factors, did you know? Then we start to go into a bit more detail. So here we're saying getting traffic to the website is absolutely crucial. So that's kind of the problem statement. So what you want to do is look at what is the customer problem. So here it's getting traffic is a huge one for any blog owner or website owner. And it's saying here that it's absolutely crucial. Also, it's very expensive for a lot of people. You've got two problem statements here for a customer, and what you are going to do is solve their problem. So as you go here, here's some good news. My SEO backlinks can give you a website the extra push it needs to start ranking for profitable search terms. Often is the case when people are wanting SEO services, they're trying to target profitable niches, profitable keywords to drive in traffic, which then enters their sales funnel or whatever they do with their website and the traffic that enters it. So here then we've got a bit of a bullet point description of what the service is and what's provided. And then a little bit more information about link building itself, things like languages. So for example here, if you was going to offer it in English and Portuguese, you could make sure that's clear on there as well. And you can also put it in on the previous page that we've seen with the gig description. So the last thing that we need to do is just sprinkle some keywords in here. Actually, as I've gone writing through it, actually the SEO is not as good as what it should be. So I'm actually just going to sprinkle, for example, SEO backlinks there, white hat Google ranking, and I'm just going to put here using SEO service. So we sprinkled a few of the keywords here. So SEO service was one, SEO backlinks is another, and white hat is a really popular one as well. So you've got the word SEO, the word backlinks, the word SEO service, because that was an individual term as well, and white hat. So together, that should be enough, along with the title, the description, the tags, and anything else you sprinkle around. You don't need to overdo it too much, so it doesn't need to be mentioned every 5 words, because it's not going to sound very human, and often that can have a negative effect. So this is a really nice balance. Again, you can then fill in some frequent asked questions. So I'm going to type in here, how long does the order take? The order takes, etc., etc. So you get the point on that one. And then let's just add one more for demonstration purposes. What is the trust, flow, and domain authority of the backlinks? DA and TF are minimum 30 plus for every backlink. And what you want to do here is you can add 10 FAQs maximum. I would add as many as possible, try and use all 10 and just bulk out, because it just makes the gig look a little bit more complete and a little bit more professional. Save and continue. And then here we're onto the requirements. So what the requirements are is once the buyer orders the gig and then they come through and they've paid and all the rest of it, and it comes through to your seller's profile. If you need any specific instructions or information from the buyer, this is the place to write the questions out, just like a form that they would then fill in. And then once they submit these requirements, they would then hit save or continue or start the order, whatever the button is on their side. And then that triggers the start of the gig order. So you could say here, what is the URL you're targeting? You can choose whether it's multiple answer, whether it's a file, or whether it's mandatory. So I'm just going to do 3 for example's sake. So what are the keywords? 5 maximum. Cool. And then I'm going to do one more, which could be, what have I done so far? Let's have a look. URL, keywords, and let's do what is the niche you're targeting. So just make sure here you're asking all the relevant questions, all the information that you need up front to then literally take the order and start it straight away without asking any more questions to the buyer. So now we're into the gig gallery. Now this is really, really important, and I've said that about a lot of aspects of the gigs. It's all important overall. The photo is what is going to drive people to click onto your gig from the search results. So it needs to be clear, it needs to be engaging, and it needs to look professional as well. I've actually got some examples already, and I'm going to pop them in here. So I've got some images that I made earlier, and I'll show these on the preview of the gig in a bit more detail, but you want something that's really clear, really professional. The one thing I've noticed on Fiverr is that a lot of people are bad at designing their gig thumbnails. You can use something like Canva. I highly, highly recommend Canva. I'll pop a link in the description to use it. It's a free tool, or there's also a paid version where you can quickly and easily create graphics if you're not a natural graphic designer. And that'll just help you spruce up and make everything look really, really professional. Another thing that you can do is you can add videos. Now, videos are really engaging. It's you speaking directly to the buyers on Fiverr, and they often say here that it is that videos can increase your engagement by 40%. Not sure whether it's true, but it's definitely worth trying out. I actually haven't used it on my gigs yet. I do plan to at some point. It's just making sure that you engage with your buyers, you're telling them exactly what the service is, and just helps relate a little bit more between the buyer and the seller to create that personal relationship with them. So now we're on the very, very final stage. Now this is what I mentioned when creating the profile. When you create some specific gigs in certain niches or certain skills, Fiverr may ask you to take a test. So here you can see that they need you to take an SEO skill assessment test. I've already taken it and already passed it. So I can literally hit publish and then my gig goes live. And here we go, we can now see the gig live. So there's the title, we've got level 2 seller. Obviously there's no sales in this, so there's no kind of rating that you usually see here. A nice, clear, concise image with the information. I've not kind of cluttered it up too much. And then the description, it looks really structured. Obviously I've got a bit of a typo on the bottom. The description here, it looks really well structured. There's a few bold keywords, there's bullet points, there's headings, and it just structures it really well so it's not too harsh on the eye with big blocks of text that you're having to read. Again, here you can see a little bit about the seller as well. You can also see all the upsells on the gig as well here. So either right here on the screen, or when you click continue and you go through, you'll see all of the upsells as well that buyers can add on when they're going through the gig, along with the FAQs, your related tags, anything else that you sell. And that's the gig in a nutshell. So now we've looked at SEO, and we've also gone through creating your very first gig, looking at the title, description, the tags, the images, and overall crafting the best optimized gig possible on Fiverr. Next, we're going to look at what happens when you get your very first order on Fiverr, how to treat it, what to do, if it's a moment of panic, how do you get through that very first order and ensure that you get your very first 5-star rating. So I'll see you in the next class.